Yes guys, and welcome back to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys, as you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this video guys, yes guys, I'm going to be predicting my Premier League predictions for the 21-22 season guys. I'm looking forward to it. It's only days away now, literally about 4 or 5 days to go, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good season. The top four is on, the title charge is on for Manchester United as well. Looking forward to the season. It could be anyone's season at the end of the day, and I'm really looking forward to this season, particularly looking forward to it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel guys, go subscribe to my channel. There's 62% of you guys that are not subscribed to my channel, so go down there, subscribe to my channel guys. And yes guys, let's just get straight into today's video. Just before I start today's video guys, I just want to apologise for the bad lighting. Obviously one side of the room has got pretty much different lights at the minute, so I apologise for that. It may bug you during this season as well, because obviously I'm going to be doing the Premier League content, FA Cup content, Carabao Cup content, and obviously the Champions League content as well, which is very pleasing for Manchester United fans. We're in the Champions League, and hopefully this time for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he has to get some silverware this season as well, after we failed to do that last season. Obviously we fell short in the Europa League, and obviously we didn't win the final. Still got into this day as well that we didn't win it, but it's just one of them, and hopefully we can bounce back stronger from this. Obviously we've got some very good signings in as well. I'm looking forward to this season. United have to be consistent. We need to be consistent to win the league. I'd say anyone in that top four, who I will pretty much say when I get into later into this video, will have a chance of winning this league. It could be anyone's at the end of the day. It could be City's, it could be United's, it could be Chelsea's, and it also could be Liverpool's at the end of the day. Who knows? But before I start today's video guys, I just want to say in the comments below, comment your top four, who is going to get relegated, and who is your first manager that will get sacked this season. I'll also get into that as well, of who my first manager might get sacked as well. Without further ado guys, let's just get straight into today's video guys. Starting from the relegation zone up to the top, 20th, Norwich City. Unfortunately for me, I think Norwich been up 2 years ago and they went straight back down to the Championship. Obviously they spent last year in the Championship, they've won the league, they've come straight back up. What can they do this season? Daniel Farke's got a massive job on his hands this season. He's obviously brought in a few Premier League proven players, obviously the likes of Angus Gunn from Southampton, who went out on loan to Stoke last year. He's also brought in Ben Gibson from Burnley as well, Billy Gilmore from Chelsea, Rashinka, the replacement for Buendia. Obviously they lost Buendia in the transfer window and he went off to Villa. They're in a bit of a rebuild as well at the minute. Fortunately, Norwich are going straight back down to the Championship. The bookie said that they're going straight back down, and unfortunately for me, Norwich are going straight back down to the Championship. 19th for me, it has to be Watford. They've done a lot of business in this transfer window, and I just don't think it'll be enough for them to stay up next season. I know they've got some fantastic players in there. Obviously, Xisco's got a big job in him as well this season as well. Obviously, we played them in the FA Cup. I thought they looked really good, to be honest, but enough quality up top to really put their chances away. They did have chances in the game against us in the FA Cup, third round, I think. But they have brought in some fantastic players, obviously Premier League proven players as well. Obviously, Danny Rose, who was at Tottenham last season as well. They brought in the likes of Ashley Fletcher as well. Good signing. Joshua King, I was surprised with that move. Obviously Everton shifted him out after that 6-month spell at Everton, and then they brought in more signings as well. I think for me, Watford, they do have the squad depth. They've got a lot of forwards this season with the likes of Troy Deeney in there as well. They've got the squad depth this season, and how well are they going to do this season as well? It's up to Watford. They've got some fantastic bunch of players this season. It's just whether if they can utilise it. Just think they'll fall short. It won't be enough for them to stay up, and I think they'll be just going straight back to the Championship. Bye-bye. 18th, I'm going with Brentford. Now, Brentford were tipped of staying up in the Premier League. I just don't think they've got that Premier League experience, unfortunately. I think it's their first season in the Premier League as well. Thomas Frank's got a big job on his hands this season as well. Obviously, they've got a fantastic bunch of players as well. Player to look out for, Ivan Toney as well. I think a lot of people will have him in their fantasy this year as well. A goal scorer as well. They have brought in a couple of players in as well. Christopher Adger and Frank Onyeka as well. For me, I just don't think Brentford have got enough Premier League experience. Thomas Frank's got a big job on his hands. I'll be surprised if they can maybe stay up for next season. Some people may think Brentford could be another Wolves or another Leeds United type of team where they don't suffer with second syndrome season, but I think for me, I don't think they'll be able to stay up because they just don't have the Premier League experience. A lot of players from the Championship that are coming up to the Premier League, and I think they'll find it really tough to adapt to the Premier League this season. Coming 17th and just surviving for me is Southampton. They're a good team, keep selling their best players every single transfer window that they have. Obviously, Danny Ings has gone to Aston Villa. That was a massive shock to everyone. Apparently, that got done pretty much in one day. Agreed the fee, had his medical. It was all sorted in one day, to be honest. Massive loss, Danny Ings, of going off to Aston Villa. He was never going to sign a new contract at Southampton, and it was going to be tough for Southampton to convince him to stay. But obviously, they have made some good signings here and there. Replaced some players, obviously. Theo Walcott's come back to Southampton, now made that permanent as well from Everton, which I knew he would stay. They've also signed a new left-back for Ryan Bertrand, going off to Leicester as well, a French left-back, Parado. Apologies for my pronunciation on the names here and there. And they've also signed Livramento as well and Simu as well, and they're trying to bring in a couple of more loan moves as well. They're doing not bad business, Southampton. Obviously a few loan deals here and there. They've made a couple of permanent moves as well. I think Southampton will just do enough to stay in the Premier League next season. Coming 16th for me is Burnley. Burnley, for me, I remember last season when they didn't really do anything. Owners had completely forgot to pull out the money, to be honest. And Burnley, they don't really do much. Obviously, they've shifted out a couple of players as well. I don't know if that'll help them, but obviously Burnley, they didn't have a not bad season, to be honest. They beat some decent sides, but they like to shit out a couple of good games as well. I think they've brought in a couple of signings. I think I may have missed out a couple, to be honest. Burnley, they've signed Nathan Collins and Wayne Hennessy. They'll just do enough to stay up. I mean, a couple of years back, they were in the Europa League and then they completely bottled that, just gone back to the normal Burnley, really. They'll be relying on the striker up top, forgot his name. I think 16th is the place for Burnley this season. 15th for me is Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton, I think they'll have an okay season. I think they've been lingering around of probably getting relegated over the last couple of seasons. Graham Potter, when he came in last season, didn't really make an impact in his first season. I think it'll be a normal, typical Brighton season. They do have the squad depth. They've got the likes of Neil Maupay, Danny Welbeck, Aaron Connolly as well. They've got some good players up top as well. They just don't utilise it. They're not that great of finishing the chances. I think if they had like a player like a Tammy Abraham or something like that, it would give them a good push. But they just don't have that, unfortunately. They have made a couple of signings, the likes of Skirpin. And look out for this player as well. Muepu as well, I think that's how you say his name. Came from RB Leipzig or Salzburg, one of them, to be honest. I think Brighton, not too bad, but let's see what they do this season. 14th, I've gone with Crystal Palace. Now, obviously, Crystal Palace appointed a new manager as well, obviously with Roy Hodgson departing as well. They've obviously brought in Patrick Vieira. They only brought in Patrick Vieira with a couple of days before pre-season even started. I think they're taking a bit of a gamble here, Crystal Palace. He's a bit of a sort of a manager where he could get pretty much sacked by December. The board will back him, obviously get the players that he wants as well. Brought in some good signings as well, the likes of Elise, Conor Gallagher as well, Anderson, who was actually on loan at Fulham last season as well. Guehi, if that's how you say his name, from Chelsea as well. I think they will sort of struggle in certain parts of the season. I think they should do all right under Patrick Vieira. Maybe a change of manager at some point, maybe this season as well. Let's see how Crystal Palace do after Roy Hodgson departing. Let's see how they react and how they do this season as well. Coming 13th, this was difficult, to be honest. I've gone with Leeds United. The reason why I've gone with Leeds United, I think, is because I think they've had a good season last year in the Premier League, and I think the fans will probably be hoping for them to push on for Europa League this season. I just don't think they'll be able to this year. I think that's just because they might have a bit of a slip in form. Will they suffer with second syndrome season, a bit like a Sheffield United that we didn't expect from last season, where they just completely fell apart, just didn't do that great, awful for the majority of the season. Let's see. I think they've still got quality signings in there. They've also brought in Junior Firpo as well at left back, Jack Harrison making his move permanent from Man City as well, and they've also signed a backup goalkeeper, Christopher Clayson, as well. Not too bad business. Leeds United have done a couple of more signings as well on the side, a few loan deals as well. I think Leeds might have an okay season. I think they might do okay under Marcelo Bielsa. I think they'll be alright. Maybe challenge for Europa League. They could prove me wrong. Let's see what Leeds United do. Obviously, we're playing them on Saturday as well, so that'll be a big game. Message to Man United: go and beat Leeds United. We cannot afford to draw or lose that against Leeds United, and I want to beat them so badly as well. in front of the fans as well. Coming 12th, I'm predicting Newcastle. Newcastle actually finished 12th last season and they didn't do too bad. They were in the mix of getting relegated, but then they had they went in some real good run of form, and that player that changed that run of form was Joe Willock, and he is signing for Newcastle as well. That'll be a shame for Arsenal to lose such a good player in Joe Willock as well. I think he's a fantastic player. He was a bit like a Jesse Lingard, but at Newcastle. Really drove on Newcastle. I think it's just a style of play. He really settled in at Newcastle. He's going back to Newcastle on a permanent deal, and I think Arsenal fans will be gutted that he's leaving, at such a young age as well. Obviously not in Mikel Arteta's plans. I think they'll have another decent season, maybe push on, hopefully. Let's see what the Geordies do. Let's see. Coming 11th, I've gone with Aston Villa. This was a difficult decision because, to be honest, I think Aston Villa have got the team to really take it to the next level with the rebuild they're on at the minute as well. If you ask me who has won this transfer window, it's got to be Aston Villa. They've absolutely smashed it. They're not messing about. When they linked with one player, they get him out of the way and they're on to the next one. Fantastic piece of business, Aston Villa. I think they'll just finish 11th this season, mainly because I think there's some players that are coming in from abroad. It will take a bit of time for them to settle in, but obviously one player that does stand out is that one signing that they've made, a fantastic signing in Leon Bailey as well. Fantastic signing for Aston Villa. Amy Buendia as well, maybe to replace Jack Grealish as well. Obviously he's gone to City now as well. Ashley Young coming from Inter Milan as well, bringing the experience. Danny Ings as well, fantastic signing as well for Aston Villa. Gives them a squad depth as well with the attacking options that he's got as well, with Ollie Watkins up there as well and Traore as well. So they've got some fantastic players in that team. Coming 10th, I've gone with Wolves. Obviously Wolves have got a new manager, and that manager is Bruno Lage. I don't know how the Wolves fans reacted to this when Nuno Espirito Santo left the club. I think it's just a new start for Wolves, new ideas now. They're pressing the reset button, going again, to be honest. I think they probably did the right thing. I was a bit surprised Nuno left. Wolves have got a new manager, fresh ideas, and let's see what can happen this season. Obviously they got rid of Rui Patricio as well. I think that was a bit of a shock to me because I thought he was a really good goalkeeper, but they brought in a replacement, Jose Sarr from Olympiacos as well. Good player. I've seen some good things about him. Maybe potentially could be a better player than Rui Patricio. I think Rui Patricio was a player that really stood out for Wolves. Didn't have a great Euros, obviously, but a permanent signing in Natori as well. And they've also brought in Trajan Cow as well from Barcelona. A few good signings there for Wolves, and a couple of more loan deals have come in, a few youngsters as well. But I think 10th might be the position for Wolves this season, mainly because obviously after having a difficult season last year, pretty much didn't have Raul Jimenez for the majority of the season. I think this is the season now to get their season back going now under this new manager, Bruno Lage. Hopefully take them back to the glory days next. Obviously they were in Europa League as well under Nuno as well, and I think Wolves will do a good job under Bruno Lage. Obviously there's pressure for him as well. I wish Wolves all the best of luck for this season. Hope they prove me wrong, maybe. Let's see. I'll be definitely watching them this weekend. They've got a good game against Leicester this weekend. Let's see. Coming 9th, I've gone with Everton. They've got a new manager as well, with Rafa Benitez coming in. Some Everton fans are disappointed that it's come to Everton. Some Everton fans are backing it as well. They're backing the decision as well. Obviously, he was at Liverpool. Some of the Everton fans didn't really like that as well. Obviously, he used to be at Newcastle as well. He's come back to the Premier League after doing his stint in Shanghai as well. I think it's a good appointment. He's a good manager. I think some Everton fans wanted him out after when he got beat by us 4-0 the other day. I think it's a real build, to be honest. They are bringing in some signings here and there. But Rafa Benitez, I rate him as a good manager. I think he could bring Everton back to where they belong. Obviously, disappointing season under Carlo Ancelotti. I was a bit surprised that he left. I thought there was a rebuild there under Carlo Ancelotti, but after having a disappointing season, he's left, he's gone to Real Madrid. But Rafa comes in, new manager, new ideas, new tactics. Let's see how they do this season. Obviously, they brought in some good signings. He's back with his mate, Andros Townsend. Some Everton fans don't like that signing as well. And Bekovic as well as a backup for Pickford. Maybe Bekovic might get some game time now in the Premiership as well, with Pickford not having a great game the other day as well. But Pickford is one of these players where he plays well for England, but plays absolutely rubbish for Everton. I think Bekovic could be a candidate to be in goal this season as well, if Pickford goes on a bit of a dip of form as well. And obviously they've also brought in Demarai Gray as well. Good signing. Used to be at Leicester, and they brought him in from Germany as well. Good signing. Gives them that squad depth a little bit more as well. A bit of a battle to push Iwobi on as well. Coming 8th, I've gone with Arsenal. I think Arsenal just have another disappointing season. I think Arsenal have not been great the last two seasons. Obviously finished 8th last season, finished 8th the year before that, 8th again. I think it'll be a bit of a roller coaster at Arsenal, up and down, to be honest. Obviously they've got all or nothing this season as well. That'll be interesting as well, what will be said at half-time team talks and stuff like that, so that'll be an interesting watch next year. They have brought in some good signings. I think the good signings are making some good progress. The old players, the senior players at the minute, they're just letting the manager down. They rely too much on the youngsters like the likes of Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, and that's why they need another number 10 as well. I think they'll struggle this season. I think they will, and I think, as Claude would say, it's time to go.
It's time to go!
I think Mikel Arteta could be gone by the end of the season if they have another disappointing season. They have brought in the likes of Nuno Tavares, the Congo as well, and Ben White. Overpaid Ben White, to be honest, 50 million, down the drain. Not worth it, but he's a good player though. Let's see what he can offer at Arsenal. Coming 7th, I've gone with West Ham. They had a fantastic season last season under David Moyes. I did predict them to get relegated last year, but they absolutely proved me wrong. Obviously, Jesse Lingard helped them last season as well. Part of that sort of rebuild. Jesse Lingard pushed them, got them Europa League. Let's see how they do with playing on Thursday nights as well. Majority of the time this season they'll be playing on Sundays as well. They brought in a new goalkeeper, Alfonso Areola, and I think that'll really give some competition with Fabianski as well. And obviously a couple of their goalkeepers are getting old now, so they needed to bring in another goalkeeper. He was out on loan at Fulham last season. I think they've got that buy option as well to buy Areola. I think that could be a good buy for them as well by the end of the season as well. I think they do need a new goalkeeper now. I think 7th might be the position for West Ham. I think they'll just miss out on Europa League. How will they do in Europa League? I don't know. It could go either way. I think they've got the squad to do it. I think it does need the squad depth a little bit. I think some players will get overplayed this season at West Ham, and I think it will sort of turn to players that might sort of get a bit tired, might get fatigued as well this season as well. Coming 6th, I've gone with Tottenham. Tottenham, of course, I've got a new manager, Nuno Espirito Santo. Obviously, some Tottenham fans didn't like it. Obviously, they were in the hunt of a new manager. It took them ages to find a manager. And obviously that was because of Daniel Levy only allowing them bringing in a certain amount of backroom staff in as well. So Nuno Espirito Santo is the man to take Tottenham forward this season. Is he the right man to take them forward? He's a good manager. I think he's a fantastic coach. Tottenham fans, get behind it now. This is your manager. Get behind your new manager now. He got your fraud out, Jose Mourinho, for one Portuguese out, another Portuguese manager's in. Let's see how we do. I think Nuno could be the man to take Tottenham back. They've made some very good signings. I think they've brought in Christian Romero. United were linked with him as well. Brian Gill as well. And they got a new backup keeper as well for Lloris as well. Colin Gini, don't know if that's the right pronunciation. They brought in some good signings, and I think they'll be looking at more signings as well. I think they need a decent season now, and I think they can probably get Europa League, definitely for sure, under Nuno. He was in the Europa League with Wolves. I think he can do that with Tottenham as well. Getting into the top 5 now. Coming 5th for me, Leicester City. I think Leicester, obviously they've come 5th the last 2 seasons. Obviously they are battling with Champions League at the minute, and they are trying to push the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United and Man City on. Obviously they were in the top 4 last season, dropped out in the last game of the season as well. Leicester City, they had a good season, but they just balled it on the last final day. But I think 5th will be the right one for them. I think they might surprise us this season, obviously winning the Community Shield the other day as well. Got in some good signings as well, the likes of Ryan Bertrand, a good backup as well for Christian Fuchs leaving. Bakary Samare, United were linked with him as well. Obviously he had a fantastic season at Lille as well, obviously winning the league. And Patson Daka, seems like he's got a good chemistry there with Kelechi Iheanacho. So I think they've done well, Leicester. I think they'll be looking at a new centre-back with Afana injured now as well. They'll be looking at signing a new centre-back as well, so I won't be surprised to make some more signings as well. Now this top 4, it was a very tough decision, and whoever I've said now in this top 4, to be honest, I've got a chance of winning this league. It could be Man City, Man United, Chelsea, or pretty much Liverpool. Coming 4th, I've gone with Liverpool. Liverpool, we just crept into Champions League. We let them do that because we bloody lost 4-2 to Liverpool. A poor game from us. We shouldn't have never let Liverpool into it. I think now their injuries are back. Liverpool will definitely want to go on a title charge now. Obviously they've made a fantastic signing in Konate, and I think that'll be a very good centre-back partnership with Van Dijk as well. Obviously he's got Joe Gomez back as well, so their injuries are coming back now. Jordan Henderson's back. Obviously they lost Wijnaldum as well. How does that make an impact on the team as well this season? Obviously after losing him, so I think that could be an area that they might struggle in this season. They need a new midfielder to replace Wijnaldum. I thought he was going to stay at Liverpool, didn't give him a new contract. but it is what it is. Have to deal with the players that they've got right now. But I think Liverpool will still do well though. I think they'll have another decent season as well. Coming third, I've gone with Chelsea. I think Chelsea, they had a fantastic season. Well, they had a fantastic 6 months with Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, they got rid of Frank Lampard mid-season. They acted and they got a new manager in. Brought in Thomas Tuchel. What 6 months it was. Obviously, winning the Champions League, the Champions of Europe as well. I'm pleased for Chelsea fans because they were really at rock bottom with Frank Lampard, and then to revitalise their season, getting a new manager in was the right thing for them. They have done some business in this transfer window, and welcome back to Romelu Lukaku as well. Obviously, they'll be in contention as well to win the league as well. Lukaku, fantastic striker. He's had a fantastic 2 years. Inter Milan as well. Too much money, that 97.5 million for Lukaku. Good player, but he's not worth that money. Also, they brought in a backup goalkeeper for Mendy as well by bringing in Marcus Ballatini in as well. Coming second, I've gone with Man United. I think United have got the team to do it this season, and being a Manchester United fan, this is anyone's season. I've said it. Whoever's in my top four have got a really good chance of winning this league, and I think United have got a really good chance as well by bringing in the likes of Tom Heaton. Some competition there, bringing in more competition in for David De Gea and also Dean Henderson as well. And obviously there's that talk if De Gea or Dean Henderson was going to be leaving. Don't see it happening anyway, myself. We've also brought in Jadon Sancho. The saga's over. We've brought in Jadon Sancho. Loving it. Jadon Sancho, here we come. Cannot wait for this season. This is going to be a fantastic season for Manchester United. And also we have signed Raphael Varane. What a signing. What a centre-back partnership with Maguire as well. No more conceding crap set pieces on free kicks and on corners. This is the man to bring in. We've got our top target, Varane. Welcome to Manchester, and he is going to do absolute bits with Manchester United. We wanted him 10 years ago, and he's here at Manchester United. He's come from Madrid to Manchester, and I cannot wait for that partnership. Varane and Maguire, oh my days, I'm in love. And I'll tell you what, United have got a very good chance of winning the league. We have to be consistent now. And coming first, and that potentially could win the league, and I hope not, to be honest, is Man City. Man City, they pulled off, I don't know how they did it, to be honest, by signing Jack Grealish. 100 million, the first 100 million signing, British signing as well. Broken record. I think Jack Grealish is a good player. He's a fantastic player. I just don't think he's worth 100 million. I think they have overpaid there. Last year they wanted 80 million, but they had a release clause in his contract of 100 million. It's funny because Pep was saying that they've only spent 40 million on him because they sold players for about 60 million. Interesting one, to be honest. Good signing, Jack Grealish. I think they are looking for another striker as well. I think that sort of comes into play for Manchester United and for Chelsea as well, and for Liverpool, because City is searching for another striker as well, with Aguero leaving now as well. I think they could potentially struggle, Man City, with no striker who's going to fill in that spot as well. It seems like it might shift Raheem Sterling into that position as well if they can't get another striker as well. I think they are trying and pushing of getting Harry Kane as well. If you ask me, is Harry Kane going to Man City? No, I don't think so. I think Tottenham will keep hold of him. He's back in training now with Tottenham, but I can't see him going to Man City. If he does, by the end of this transfer window, I will be surprised. And that is it, guys. There are my predictions for the 21-22 season. I wish all teams the best of luck for this season. It's going to be a fascinating season. Get your popcorn ready, and it's going to be one hell of a season. I wish all the teams good luck for this season. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days. And peace.